I never believed in fairy tales. I believed in contracts, profits, and opportunities. My name is Madison Clarke, and I've spent my entire adult life climbing the social ladder in Dallas, Texas. I wasn't born into money, but I learned how to walk like I was, speak like I was, dress like I was, and eventually live like I was. Until the day I met Nathan Hale. Nathan was a billionaire, owner of one of the biggest real estate empires in the state. He wasn't flashy like the others. He didn't throw his wealth around or drive ridiculous cars. He wore jeans, boots, and button down shirts that looked like they belonged to ranchers, not CEOs. And that intrigued me. At first, he was just another goal, another target, someone I planned to charm and win over, all in the name of securing a life I thought I deserved. I met him at a fundraising gala I had snuck into using a friend's pass. I remember standing near the bar, pretending to sip sparkling water while watching the room like a hawk. That's when I saw him, not on the stage, not in the spotlight, but off to the side, helping a waiter pick up a dropped tray of glasses. That was my first surprise. The second was when he walked right up to me. "You don't seem like the rest of them," he said. His voice was calm, deep, steady. "You watching or planning?" I smiled. "Both. Is that a problem?" "Not at all," he replied. "Just rare to meet someone honest in this room." And just like that, our first conversation happened. It wasn't full of flowery words or fake compliments. We talked about how strange the rich could be, about how lonely it was pretending, and how exhausting it was to always perform. I didn't expect him to see through me, but he did, and he didn't mind. We met for coffee the next morning, then lunch, then dinner. It became a rhythm. Nathan was kind but firm, smart but not arrogant. He listened more than he spoke, and while I was calculating everything, trying to understand how best to win him, he never once seemed to be playing a game. Weeks passed, then months, and something strange began to happen. I stopped thinking about his wealth. I stopped thinking about his house in the hills, or his luxury ranch, or his connections. I started thinking about him, the way he carried groceries without being asked, the way he'd bring coffee for the entire staff at his office, the way he looked at me, not like a project or an accessory, but like a person. But I wasn't honest with him, not fully. I never told him that I had pursued him because of his money. I kept that part of my past buried deep beneath designer clothes and expensive perfume. Then one day, it all came crashing down. Nathan invited me to a charity event, one I didn't sneak into this time. It was held at a children's hospital his company had renovated. During the tour, a woman I used to work with showed up. Her name was Talia, and we hadn't spoken in years. She smiled at Nathan, then at me. "Wow, Maddie, I didn't know you were still playing the target a rich guy game. Looks like this one's the jackpot." Nathan froze. I felt my heart stop. Talia laughed awkwardly and wandered away, but the damage was done. I tried to explain, tried to tell him it wasn't what it sounded like. That yes, maybe in the beginning, I had selfish intentions, but things had changed. He listened quietly, then he said the one thing I feared most. "I need some space." I didn't blame him. For weeks, I didn't hear from him. I didn't show up at his office, didn't call. I knew I had to own what I'd done. I went back to work, to my modest apartment, to my life before Nathan. But nothing felt the same. It wasn't about the luxury or the lifestyle. I missed him. The way he'd send me songs in the middle of the day. The way he'd look at me when I rambled about books I loved. The way we could sit in silence without it being awkward. Then, one Saturday morning, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Nathan standing there, holding a brown paper bag and 2 cups of coffee. "I brought breakfast," he said. "And a question." I stepped aside. "Come in." He placed the bag on the counter and looked at me. "I've been thinking. I was angry, hurt even. But the truth is, I've seen people lie to get close to me. Use me. You're the only one who ever told me the truth, even when it was hard. I know what Talia said, but I also know what I've seen from you, and I believe in that more." My eyes burned with tears. "I don't want someone perfect," he continued. "I want someone real. Someone who challenges me, surprises me, and yes, even someone who's made mistakes but chooses better. If you're that someone, I want us to start again." For real this time? I didn't hesitate. Yes, I whispered. For real. And so we did. The journey wasn't smooth. We argued, disagreed, learned new things about each other, but we always came back to the truth. We built something not on wealth or image, but on honesty, trust, and respect. Years later, standing in the same hospital where my secret had once come out, I watched as Nathan cut the ribbon for another new wing he had funded. He looked over at me, our hands brushing, and smiled. In that moment, I realized I had gotten everything I ever wanted. Not the wealth, not the status, but something far greater. I had him. And this time, it wasn't for what he had. It was for who he was.